The next 5 years may change humanity more than the previous 50. Wow, just let that sink in for a second. It's a pretty staggering thought, right? But the truth is, we are standing on the very edge of an era that promises to completely rewrite every single facet of how we live, how we work, and how we interact with the world around us. And listen, this isn't happening in some distant science fiction future. It's happening right now, today, at an absolute breakneck pace.
And at the center of that massive transformation is, you guessed it, artificial intelligence. It's the invisible engine that is driving this entire global paradigm shift. I mean, think about it. What started as this highly experimental technology, locked away in academic research labs, has practically exploded overnight to become the operational backbone of global enterprise. And the crazy part? The tools we're playing with today, as mind-blowing as they seem, they're literally just the prologue. They are the opening chapter to a much larger, much more profound story that is accelerating way faster than anyone originally anticipated.
So welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a deep dive into this rapidly accelerating AI landscape to figure out exactly where humanity is heading over these next crucial 5 years. We're going to explore the incredible opportunities waiting for us, the massive shifts coming to global industries, and, just to keep it real, the very serious roadblocks standing in our way. Let's get into it.
Part 1. The AI revolution accelerates. Okay, so if the sheer pace of technological change lately has been making your head spin, well, the data totally backs you up. You are absolutely right to feel that way. The timelines for major, earth-shattering breakthroughs are shrinking right before our eyes. Look at this trend line from some recent RAND Corporation analysis. Just 5 years ago, the expert consensus for achieving artificial general intelligence, or AGI, basically human-level AI, was comfortably placed somewhere around the mid-century mark. But watch how fast that collapses. More recent, large-scale surveys pulled that median date all the way down to 2047. Then, compute-centric models, which track the explosive, exponential growth in raw processing power, yanked those estimates down into the 2030s. And today, the most aggressive, heavily researched expert scenarios are predicting transformative, human-level AI capabilities could hit as early as 2027. That is right around the corner. The window we have to prepare as a society is narrowing, and it's narrowing fast.
Now, if you're wondering whether the global financial markets actually buy into these shrinking timelines, well, the proof is literally in the capital. $300 billion. The RAND report calls this the market weight signal. The biggest tech megacaps on the planet are planning to drop over $300 billion on AI infrastructure in 2025 alone. You guys, they are not spending that kind of unprecedented cash just to build slightly better conversational chatbots. No way. They are physically building the architecture for an entirely new economic era. We're talking miles and miles of server racks, specialized liquid cooling systems, and these massive, power-hungry data centers expanding all over the globe.
Which brings us to part 2. Agentic AI transforms work.
So, what exactly are they building toward with all that money? There's a fascinating recent paper published on Archive that coins this the instrumental dissolution of typing, which is a very fancy academic way of describing the shift from conversational AI, the kind that just answers a prompt you type in, to autonomous agentic AI that actually goes out and executes real-world tasks for you. Think about how we work right now. In the keyboard era, you have to articulate every single step of a process. You type the exact syntax, you manually format the spreadsheet cells, you click through a dozen software menus. But in this new agentic era, you don't do any of that. You simply articulate your intent. You tell your autonomous AI agent, hey, here's what I want to achieve. And the agent handles the entire process. It interacts with multiple different software platforms, it reasons its way through unexpected errors, and it just delivers the final result. The keyboard is basically transforming from an everyday production tool into a highly specialized verification instrument.
And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, sure, but that sounds like something arriving a decade from now, the latest industry data from arcade.dev paints a very different picture. An overwhelming 79% of enterprise organizations report they have already adopted AI agents at some level today. That is massive. And they aren't just playing around. They are projecting an average return on investment of over 170%. We are witnessing the actual deployment of digital employees working side by side with human teams. Right now, these agents are out there autonomously managing complex supply chain logistics, cross-referencing giant stacks of vendor invoices, and actually executing and pushing code changes. It is driving an absolute explosion in productivity. It's officially moved from an experimental curiosity to a hardcore business necessity.
Let's move to part 3, reshaping society and industry. It's one thing to automate tedious office administration, right? But AI is achieving these genuinely staggering performance gains in critical, life-altering fields too. Just look at the metrics in healthcare. They are mind-blowing. Historically, human radiologists spot lung nodules with an accuracy rate of about 65%. But today's highly specialized AI, it's hitting 94% accuracy. For breast cancer detection, AI sensitivity has reached 90%, completely leapfrogging the human baseline of 78%. And this incredible acceleration is happening across drug discovery and personalized treatments too, literally shrinking research timelines from years down to just months. Meanwhile, over in software engineering, developers who are orchestrating code with these AI agents are reporting feature delivery times that are 40 to 50% faster. They are spending way less time writing boring boilerplate code and way more time designing high-level architecture.
Across the board, the barriers to entry are just falling away. In education, we're seeing this amazing rise of personalized AI tutors. This is democratizing global access to specialized knowledge, meaning people can acquire complex skills so much faster. In business, autonomous workflows are building these incredibly lean, hyper-productive organizations that can scale like never before. Then, look at the creative world. Models with massive memory contexts are allowing everyday creators to generate professional-grade video, text, and design for a fraction of the traditional cost. It's ushering in this whole new era of creative collaboration. And we definitely can't forget robotics and physical AI. Humanoid robots and smart factories are pulling this intelligence out of the digital realm and bringing it directly into our physical supply chains, automating logistics, and yes, eventually providing actual household assistance.
All right, part 4, the challenges and bottlenecks.
Now, as incredibly exciting as all of this sounds, we need to ground this explainer in reality for a minute. Because the path forward is currently colliding head-on with a massive hurdle known in the industry as the scaling wall. According to some really rigorous computational science research, these large language models operate using non-Gaussian stochastic processes. Now, without getting completely lost in the advanced math here, what that basically means is you can't just brute force your way to perfection. Simply throwing more data and more giant computer chips at an AI model doesn't automatically eliminate its errors. They actually face heavily diminishing returns. To make an AI just 10 times more accurate, you might literally need a staggering 10 billion times more compute resources.
And let me tell you, that scaling wall triggers a whole cascade of other massive challenges. First off, to power all those extra computations, the energy demands are so extreme that tech companies are literally looking at reopening nuclear power plants. Second, the models face what researchers call the curse of dimensionality. This can result in something known as Potemkins. Basically, it's holographic accuracy. The AI spits out an answer that looks structurally perfect on the surface, but it's actually masking a deep, underlying incoherence. It's confidently wrong. And beyond the hard math, there are immense societal hurdles we have to face. We're looking at very real job displacement concerns. Some estimates are projecting that up to 92 million jobs could be affected globally as specific roles completely change or just disappear. And naturally, that triggers critical questions around data privacy, verifiable AI safety, and some really profound ethical dilemmas about how we deploy these systems across the global population.
Section 5. The world of 2031.
But even with those bottlenecks, the momentum here is completely undeniable. We might very well be entering what Anthropic's CEO Dario Amodei calls the compressed 21st century. Just imagine for a second experiencing 50 to 100 years of scientific innovation all condensed into a single decade. Because AI has this ability to dramatically accelerate the cognitive work, the hard thinking of developing hypotheses and testing them, the usual delay between a scientific discovery and its real-world application could practically vanish. We are talking about AI designing entirely new antibiotics from scratch. We're talking about optimizing complex battery technologies in minutes instead of months. This compressed timeline is going to trigger massive opportunities for entrepreneurship, rapid innovation, and a level of economic growth at speeds we've literally never witnessed in human history.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 6, the Human-AI Partnership.
So what does this all mean for you? How do you actually adapt today so you can thrive tomorrow? Well, the answer really boils down to these 4 actionable steps. First, you've got to learn to orchestrate AI tools. You need to transition from being that manual typist of a process to becoming a director of intent. Second, and honestly, this one is absolutely crucial, you have to develop your verification and adaptable skills. Your value in the professional world is going to shift. It's moving away from production fluency, which is how fast you can make something, and moving toward verification competence, which is how accurately you can audit, refine, and correct the work the AI produces. Third, lean heavily into creativity. Let the machine handle the boring, repetitive boilerplate stuff while you provide the strategic vision. And fourth, embrace lifelong problem solving. Specific software tools will come and go, but human adaptability and our ability to build strong partnerships with AI, those are the ultimate future-proof skills.
Because when we step back and look at the sheer scale of the data and the trends we've covered in this explainer today, one thing becomes abundantly crystal clear. AI is not simply another technology trend. It's not the new smartphone, it's not the next social media platform. It may very well become the single most important technology humanity has ever created. It is fundamentally altering the basic equation of human potential, and it's changing the very fabric of our daily lives and our global businesses.
Now, I know it is completely natural to feel a sense of unease when you're facing this level of rapid, foundational disruption. But remember this, the future won't belong to people who fear AI. It will belong to those who step into the arena, who take the time to learn the tools, and who figure out how to work alongside these autonomous systems. The future of work is absolutely not a battle of humans versus AI. It is a powerful, necessary alliance.
The next 5 years are coming fast. They are going to bring astonishing breakthroughs, immense societal challenges, and unparalleled opportunities for the people who are prepared to seize them. We have the data, we can clearly see the trajectory, and we know exactly what skills are going to be required. The only question left is, are we ready? Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious out there, and I will see you next time.